So many people find fault with our presentation of the esoteric teaching because we so strongly preach against the influence of this impossible philosophy of impersonalism. And actually, impersonalism is a new thing. The principal impersonalist philosopher, Shankaracharya, appeared in India only 1600 years ago, which makes him much newer than the Vedic sources upon which the esoteric teaching is based. As it turns out, we also accept the doctrine of devolution, that humans in the past were much more intelligent, stronger, and more spiritually aware than humans in the present. And impersonalism is one of the signposts of the devolution of human consciousness. The fact that this relatively new philosophy, newer than Christianity, newer than Buddhism, and much newer than the Vedas, can take over so much of human thought and become embedded in so much of human philosophy and endeavor, shows that we have lost a great deal of intelligence. Because, as we pointed out in the scripted part of this talk, it is impossible to produce something from nothing, even for God. God is definitely something. He's not a nothing. And oneness with God, which is the supposed goal of the impersonalist philosophers, is impossible to prove, impossible to demonstrate, and actually impossible to achieve. It's simply an excuse for negating the customary dualities of right and wrong, good and evil, and the rules of morality that follow from them. People want to have a free hand in their life. They want to be unrestricted in their activities and thoughts. And the influence of religion and morality has always been to check them and to make them think twice before acting. And this is good for them because the consequences of many acts, as we have pointed out in our presentation so far, are that one creates unwanted reactions through the action of the law of karma. Now, it's a benefit if we are inhibited in the pursuit of sense gratification, because that saves us from performing so many things that will come back to haunt us later. Therefore, religious morality and the rules and regulations of spiritual life are there to save us, not to exert power over us or dominate us, although I'm sure there are unscrupulous religionists who have used it in that way in the past. That is not the orientation of the esoteric teaching. The esoteric teaching gives you a system of ontology and says, if you apply this ontology in your life, you will benefit. And then it's up to you. And we do not use any force or power to compel, but we use the truth to impel. So those who take up this esoteric teaching, they find that in the long run especially, their lives are greatly improved and their consciousness is clear and their senses are pure and they can perceive the transcendental reality. And that is really the goal of all religious and spiritual teachings. In addition to that, the esoteric teaching helps you find your real, eternal, perfect body. And that is something that no other path can actually offer, although they may pretend to offer it. They don't really provide the means or the ontological basis. Now, one more thing before we close. We use this word ontology a lot. Why? Well, as we discuss in the videos of the introductory seminar, that the foreground and background of perception is what really gives us the meaning from our experience. So our ontology is like the background of our perception. And just like the example of the black cat in the black room at night, if you have an ontology that does not permit you to observe spiritual phenomena, then you will miss it. But like the black cat in the white room at noon, if you have an ontology that does permit you to perceive spiritual phenomena, then you will be aware of these things and you will be able to develop spiritually. That is the usefulness of the esoteric teaching. It helps you to attain your perfect body. This is David Hughes, hoping you've enjoyed this installment of Your Perfect Body, our podcast from the esoteric teaching. Please join us again and benefit from these spiritual teachings that help you attain your real perfect body. And don't forget to visit us on the web at esotericteaching.org.